y'all, welcome back to Miss P's Kitchen. Today we're going to make a lemon buttermilk pie, complete with a made from scratch crust. Come join me. Variations of this recipe date back to the Great Depression when people used what was available to them. And buttermilk pie was pretty popular back in those days. I came to love it when I was pregnant with my daughter and made them several times a week, which is probably why I gained so much weight. Let's go over the ingredients for our pie crust. I have a 9-inch pie pan, 1½ teaspoons of sugar, 2 sticks of butter that I've already cut up into small pieces. I'll use 6 to 7 tablespoons of ice water, 2½ cups of flour, and 1½ teaspoons of salt. I'm going to go ahead and mix my dry ingredients together. So that's just the flour and the salt and sugar. And I'll whisk these together. As you can see, I've already cut my butter up into small little pieces. And we're going to add this to the flour mixture and put it into our mixer. I have my butter in my flour mixture and I'm just going to mix it up with using my dough hook. I use my KitchenAid for just about everything. If you have one, I do suggest mixing your pie crust this way. If you do not have one, you can do this by hand just pretty simply. I'm going to turn my mixer down to low and then start adding in water so that it doesn't splash everywhere. And we're going to start out with 6 tablespoons, and then if we need another one, we'll add in another one. As you can see, it's thickened up and become almost one ball, and that is just about what we're looking for. I'm going to turn this off and show you. This is what we're looking for. It's not too wet and it doesn't stick to my hands, but it's not too dry either. So 6 tablespoons is what I use today, and that seems to vary every single time I make pie crust. So we will ball this up and roll it out. I'm going to sprinkle some flour onto my counter so that I can roll this out. I always flour my rolling pin as well. It really helps to make it not stick. This recipe actually makes 2 crusts, so I'm going to go ahead and use the other crust for another pie. Okay, I have my pie crust rolled out and I will show you how I cut it. I simply fold it back, and you have to kind of be careful here so that you don't tear it. This is why you want to make sure that your counter is floured. And then I'll sit it down and just lay it on top. And again, this makes 2 pie crusts. I'm only using 1 for this. If you want to make a pie like a cherry pie or an apple pie, then this is good because you can use it one as a topper. Okay, I have my excess out of the way, and I'll show you how I cut it to make it a little prettier. I just hold it up, use the back edge of my butter knife, and simply twist it in your hand and cut that excess off. You want to use the back edge of your butter knife because for some reason it cuts better. There we go. Okay guys, we're ready to start making our pie filling. I have 1/4 cup of flour here. I have 1½ cups of sugar, 1 cup of buttermilk, 3 eggs. I have a stick of butter that I've already melted. We're going to use 1 lemon that we'll juice and zest, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to add my flour to my sugar and whisk that up. Next we're going to mix up our buttermilk and the rest of these wet ingredients. Here's the butter. Our vanilla. I'll give that a little mix before we add in our lemon. I'm going to cut my lemon in half and juice it, and then we'll zest it. Okay, I have my lemon juiced and I'm just going to zest it right into my bowl. Zesting is the same thing as just grating it. This is all there is to it. And you don't want to get down into the really white part. Just get the skin of the lemon. This is a little easier to do before you cut it, but it can be done either way. This is what it looks like after I've zested it. I'm going to add my lemon juice in and mix that up. And then we'll add our flour and sugar mixture. That's all there is to it. We're going to pour this into the pie crust, and then we'll bake it at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. Alright, our pie is out of the oven. That cooked at 350 for about 45 minutes. As you can see, it's good and brown in the middle, and we're going to let this cool and then slice it up. And this is an old-fashioned lemon buttermilk pie. This pie crust recipe was given to me by my late mama when I started my life outside of their home, and I've used it ever since. I hope y'all like this video. As always, like, share, please subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook. Thanks for watching, guys.